we go for the Himalayan ranges. The Himalayan ranges are formed just like an arc shaped. From west to east, it appears just like an arc shape. The ranges measured or stretches around 2,400 kilometers. These ranges width differs from west 500 to 200. In the western part, the width of it is 500 kilometers. When it comes to center and eastern part, it is around 200 kilometers. These Himalayas do have a lot of valleys and also very extensive plateaus. These Himalayas are classified into three. They are Greater Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas, and Shivaliks. The Greater Himalayas, otherwise known as a Himadri. These altitude is 6,100 meters to the mean sea level. You can think about that. This is the highest level, 6,100 meters from sea level. So these Greater Himalayas comprise of glaciers. What are meant by glaciers? Over a period of time, the snow solidified and became a white mountains like. These glaciers are the source of perennial rivers. What is meant by a perennial rivers? Generally, in southern India, the rivers are not perennial rivers, only rain-fed rivers. In northern India, particularly from Himalayan ranges, in the rainy season, rainwater flows. When summer comes there, snow melts and flows. That's what the Himalayans are origin for perennial rivers. Now we move to lesser Himalayan ranges. The lesser Himalayan ranges starts from 3,700 meters to 4,500 meters. These lesser Himalayan regions are mostly compressed rocks. Rugged rocks can be found. And most of important regions in these ranges are the Mahabharat and also Perpanchal. At the same time, the lesser Himalayan ranges are very important for resort centers. Those highly interesting resort centers like Kashmir, Kangra, Kulu Manali, Mussoorie, Ranikat, Nainital, and so on. These places are very much interested for the tourists. At the same time, these lesser Himalayan regions make the people get attracted with its evergreen greenery. A lot of greenery can be found there. Very fascinating and fantastic scenery can also be found there. Now we move to Shivaliks. The Shivaliks ranges in Himalayas are southernmost ranges are called as a Shivaliks. These Shivaliks width is 10 to 50 kilometers. The width of these ranges are 10 to 50 kilometers only. At the same time, the altitude of it is 900 meters to 1100 meters. Once again, I tell you, the altitude of it is 900 meters to 1100 meters. These Shivalik regions are named differently in different areas, in the different regions. For example, in Jammu region, they are called Jammu Hills. In Arunachal Pradesh region, they are called Mismi Hills. In Assam region, they are called Kachar Hills. These valleys go for lot of gravel and alluvium soil. This area is filled with a lot of gravel and also alluvium soil. Then the valleys in Shivaliks, between lesser Himalayas and Shivaliks, they are called dunes. For example, Dehradun, Kotla Dune and Patli Dune. The easternmost boundary of Himalayas is the Brahmaputra valleys. Here, the Himalayan ranges appear just like a hairpin bend. It runs through all northeast states of Indian country. These divisions are known as Purvanchal. These Purvanchals are filled with sedimentary rocks. The local people call these Purvanchal as Palkai Hills, Naga Hills, Manipuri Hills, Kasi Hills and Meso Hills. The formation of Himalayas do have various kind of climatical conditions. These Himalayan ranges are barriers or act as a guard or act as a protector whenever there are very cool winds blow from Central Asia. Suppose the same winds are permitted without any barrier, the great Indian plains would have been devastated like anything. So that great Indian plains are being protected just because of the Himalayan ranges. They act as a guard, they act as a protector. The area beyond Western Ghats are getting benefited like anything because of these Himalayan ranges. These Himalayan ranges are giving rainfall in summer and also do have a monsoon type of climate. In addition to that, if at all we wanted to say something about Himalayans, if Himalayans are not there, the total area would have been dried up like anything. And moreover, these Himalayan ranges almost hold grip on all the northwest and northeast and up to central part of Indian country. The Indo-Gangetic Plain. The Indo-Gangetic Plain do have three rivers, the Indus, the Ganges, the Brahmaputra and its tributaries. Indo-Gangetic Plains, the major rivers in Himalayas are the Indus, the Ganges, the Brahmaputra and some tributaries. They form as a great northern plains of Indian country. 20 million ago, there were a shallow basin was formed at the bottom of Himalayas. So, in evolution process, gradually alluvium soil started filling over there and thus great plains of Indian have been formed. They are very fertile and that has been benefiting like a farmer community like anything in the northern India. Similarly, the Indo-Gangetic Plains are divided into three parts. One is a western part, the other one is a central part, the other one is a eastern part. In the western part, the Indus River flows from west side of Indian country. A lot of portion of water is going to Pakistan and a very meager part of Indus River flows in Indian country, and that too two states are getting benefited. They are Punjab and a part of Haryana. Similarly, the tributaries of the Indus River are the Jhelum, the Chenab, the Ravi, the Beas and the Sutlej. And it has dove features. Dove features means in between two rivers, the land is there. Very fertile land. So, largely we can find in the western part of Indus River flowing, we can find dove featured lands are there. The central part is known as Ganga Plain. These Ganga plains extend from Gagar to Teesta. These Ganga water flows in Uttar Pradesh, part of Haryana, Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, and so on. Similarly, Ganga, Yamuna, and its tributaries like Sone, Kose drain. Now let us go for eastern part. In the eastern part, Brahmaputra river plays an important role. Brahmaputra valleys can be found, and because of these Brahmaputra plains are formed. Most of the Brahmaputra plains are there in Assam. The Himalayan rivers in due course brought lot of gravel and pebbles, and they have formed around 8 to 16 kilometers. They are parallel to shivaliks. This region is known as a Babar. Babar is an area filled with porous sediments. Here, small rivers and streams flow underground. At the same time, this area is filled with swamps and marshy lands. What is meant by a swamp land? Swampy land is nothing but a low-lying land, frequently be flooded a lot. Similarly, marshy lands are the lands where lot of wet, a lot of water clogging can be found, which gives a scope for raising of a green grass. In addition to that, these land filled with terrain, lot of trees, lofty trees were there. In due course, all the terrain lands have been cleared by the local people, and that land has been brought for cultivation. Here, now it has become an alluvial plain, raising crops by the local farmers in that area. Let us go for discussion of the islands. In Indian country, there are two kinds of islands are there. They are the Andaman Nicobar Islands, which are located in the Bay of Bengal, whereas the Lakshadweeps are the islands which are located in the Arabian Sea. The Andaman Nicobar Islands, which are found in the Indian region in Bay of Bengal, has a stretch from Myanmar. There are two island regions called Narkodam, Barun, do have a volcanic origin. Indira Point. What is meant by Indira Point? That Indira Point is nothing but a southernmost elevated part in Andaman Nicobars. It is named after Indira Gandhi. In 2004, there was a tsunami. That tsunami merged this Indira Point. Only lighthouse posts used to appear at present. Let us go for Lakshadweeps. Lakshadweeps are there located in Arabian Sea, and they stretch around 32 square kilometers. These are filled with a lot of flora and fauna. Maximum extent, these islands are tourist centers, not only for Indians but also for foreigners.